What's going on, everybody? All right, I read an article this morning, and it kind of surprised me a little bit, and I want to share that with you. And the article stated that Consumer Reports actually says that the 2020 Toyota Tacoma should be avoided. And it actually gave two other trucks that Consumer Reports says is a better or more viable option. So, let's get into why they say you should avoid the 2020 Toyota Tacoma, the two options that they say are better or that you should consider over that. And then I'll give you my opinions at the end on how I feel about this. So, one reason for the recommendation is they say the 2020 Toyota Tacoma has low reliability. It scored a 3 out of 5 on reliability. Now that's a little bit of a shocker to me because we all know that Toyota has a reputation for reliability. So when it scores a 3 out of 5, I'm like, what? But we do know that the newer generations of Toyotas, the 18s and up, since they put that TSS system in them, that Toyota Safety Sense, sorry, allergies are really bad here, that they have had a few recalls on these. So maybe that has something to do with it. But there's one other thing that they state that causes this low ranking right here. And it also give it a 3 out of 5 for predicted owner satisfaction. I don't know how they predict owner satisfaction. I know they go back for years and take all the data they got, but it's hard to predict what somebody else is going to feel, in my opinion. But let's move on. This is based off previous years, like I said, such as the 2018 Tacoma having reports of transmission problems. The Tacoma also didn't score well in comfort, value, and drivability. Yeah, they're small. It's a small truck. I don't think any small truck's going to drive great. But the Tacoma is a little bit rough. The value is a little funny because yes, they're expensive, but the resale is better than everybody else's. So is it really that worse of value? Because when you trade it back in, you're going to get more money for it. I think that part of it will actually equal out. And the comfort, if you don't know about the comfort, you should go back and watch my video, Should a Tall Person Buy a Tacoma? And just tell me what you think there. They said it does off-roading really well, and we all know that. People buy Tacomas for off-roading all the time. So yes, Tacomas are great at off-roading. A lot of people make overlanding vehicles and stuff like that out of them. So they're going to greatly excel at that. It holds its resale value good. We just stated that. But the noisy interior and lack of power is another reason they say, that they scored it so low. And I agree, the Tacoma does need more power. I don't know that anybody that's ever bought a Tacoma and been like, man, we need to put less power in this truck. It's just too fast. It just has too much power. It's hard to handle. I don't know anybody that's ever bought a Tacoma that said that. But there again, these engines are tried and true, just like the Tundra engine, tried and true. They've not changed a whole lot over all the years. It's just reliable. And the reliability thing actually came off the transmissions. And I've heard reports of people talking about, transmissions hunting for gears, don't know what gear it wants to be in, stuff like that. I've never owned a newer Tacoma, so I don't know this. I've just heard people talk about it. So I understand that. And they probably have had some brought to the factory going, there's something wrong with this because my transmission is hunting for what gear it needs to be in. So I get that. But now, let's get into the two options that they say you should recommend over the Toyota Tacoma. And then I'll tell you if I agree with those two options. Okay, so what two options is that? Well, the first one they say, all right, let me go ahead and tell you, the Tacoma come in third place. So we're going from third, second to first. So in second place, the second place option is the 2020 Ford Ranger. Now, I've never driven a 2020 Ford Ranger. I don't know anything about them. I've heard people that have driven them that didn't like them, and I've heard people that own them that love them. So I don't know. If you're looking for a small truck, you're just going to have to go out and drive this truck and see if it's for you or not. But they say it has better reliability. I can't even say that with a straight face. Because every Ford I've ever owned almost, besides my Roush, and it didn't have enough miles on it to even find out if it was reliable. It has had some reliability issues. Both my Toyota F-150s, if you don't know about that, go back and watch those videos. Horrible reliability. Had a 2000 Mustang GT. It blew a hole in the plenum and all the antifreeze come out of it because they used to make the plenums out of plastic. All right, and we keep going. And it has a better predicted owner satisfaction. Both were 4 out of 5, which is better than the Tacoma scored. It also has a better comfort, value, and better acceleration. And I can believe all that, not value. If you're looking on the cheap end on the bottom at buyer's price, I agree. It probably is cheaper because Tacomas are pretty expensive. You can buy a Toyota Tundra for what you can buy a TRD Pro Tacoma for. A pretty nice Tundra for that price, actually. So, initial purchase price, yes, I agree that it probably is a better value. When you go to trade that thing in, bring some lube. But, better acceleration. I'm not sure exactly what engine is in the Tacoma, or not Tacoma, but the Ranger. But I'm going to bet it's some kind of an EcoBoost. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. I didn't think about looking this up before I made this video. But those EcoBoost engines are stout when they're running right. Now, a lot of people have EcoBoost and don't have problems with them. But I do want to say that EcoBoost engine is a really, really, really stout engine when it's running correctly. So yes, it is definitely going to have better acceleration than Tacoma. Because anytime you throw a turbo on anything, it's quick. Let's just face it, it's quick. Now, I would guess it because they're going to EcoBoost on everything in Ford. Like I said, I didn't look that up. So if I'm wrong, throw it in the comment section below. Say, hey, they don't have an EcoBoost, but I'm kind of betting they do. And comfort, Ford has always had a comfortable riding truck. I'm not gonna knock them for that. Their ride quality does seem to be good. The Tacoma's suspension stiff, but I think it's more directed for off-roading than the Ranger is, in my opinion. So it's naturally going to have a better ride quality in the Ford. But now, what's the number one option that Consumer Reports says is better than the Toyota Tacoma? It is the Honda Ridgeline. Yes, the one thing that I don't even consider a truck. But it always scored a 3 out of 5 like the Tacoma did in reliability. And it got a 4 out of 5 in predicted owner satisfaction. So how did the Ranger not beat out the Tacoma? I'm not understanding. I don't get it. If it scored better in both sections, how did it not be? I'm not understanding. But anyway, it is faster than the Tacoma, but the Ridgeline only offers all-wheel drive, not like a full functioning four-wheel drive like the Tacoma does. And it has a unibody, not like the Tacoma. That will make for a more comfortable ride, but doesn't perform as well off-road, of course, because if you just have all-wheel drive versus, crawl control and everything else that a lot of Tacomas come with, naturally, the Tacoma is going to do better off-road. Now, what do I think about this? I'm a Toyota guy. Love Toyotas. Trying to find a 4Runner right now to trade my Jeep for so I can have a 4Runner and a Tundra. I always had good luck out of Toyotas for the most part. The reliability part of it, I think Toyota did kind of change the transmissions a little bit in 2020 from what I've heard. I don't know that 100% from what I've heard. And they've kind of fixed the searching for gear issues. Supposedly, like I said, I've not driven this. My cousin actually has a 2019 TRD Pro automatic, and he's never had this issue in his truck that he's talked about. So, it may be fixed already. Maybe he got a late 2019. They'd already kind of started doing that in those trucks. I don't know, but he's never said he's had that issue to begin with. So going back to a 2018 and looking at transmission issues, when they're supposed to corrected that issue in 2020, I don't think it's fair for knocking the 2020 if it's supposed to be corrected. Let's give the 2020 a little bit of a chance to prove itself before we say, hey, you shouldn't buy this truck. I don't know. But for me, when you look at the value, they state the other values of the other one. Now, Honda's does hold their values very, very well, but Ford, on the other hand, don't hold their value that much. I did a video about vehicles holding their value, and Ford was like way, way down the list. It barely made the top 10 in the F-150s. So they don't hold their value great. So when you're looking at value, you know, it's kind of relative to, yeah, I'm saving some money at the front, but I'm losing a ton at the rear, versus I'm paying some money at the front, but right now Tacomas are outrageous used. I mean, if you're going to buy like a 2-year-old Tacoma, you're almost better to buy a new one and get a better interest rate. I mean, it's really that big a difference in a lot of cases, because I know people that went to look for used Tacomas and said, hey, I bought a new one because the interest rate was better and my payment was going to be lower than it was on the other one, because there wasn't enough difference in price to make that big a difference. So, you know, when you pay a little more at the beginning, but you get a ton more at the end, to me, it's worth it. And like I said, Toyota's always been known for the reliability. If your transmission's searching in a 2018, but supposedly they corrected it in 20, it's still the most #1 selling truck out there, so it can't be that bad. If the transmissions were really that bad, it would, you know, stop a lot of the sales. It would greatly, you know, drop sales. I say that, but you hear a lot of people having problems with F-150s, and this is still the #1 selling truck in the world too. So I don't know, maybe perception keeps it being bought. I don't know, but I just have to believe that the Tacoma is not as bad as a Ford Ranger. And the Ridgeline, I just don't think it's a truck. That's my problem. I see it more like an El Camino or something, more like a truck car. So I can't compare a Ridgeline to a Tacoma that is an actual truck. That'd be like comparing an El Camino to a Silverado. It's apples to oranges. I mean, it really is. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. Does Consumer Reports actually make a difference in your deciding on what you're going to buy? It has a little bit on me for like appliances, but when it comes to vehicles and stuff, it doesn't really make my opinion up. It's overall reliability, and the brand itself. I know the reputations of brands, and I do enough research on cars and stuff like that that I feel like I'm justified in my decisions purchasing vehicles without Consumer Reports input. That's just me though. Let me know what you think. I appreciate y'all watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you next time.